Ladies and gentlemen, SideStrafe back with Star Citizen, and it's been a while since I've taken a look at this title. I think I've done about 2 videos for it in total, mostly due to the fact that there hasn't been a lot of new content, but I've got the itch. I have the space flight sim itch, which is why I have been playing Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen via live stream. So I thought that I would go ahead and talk about this game a little bit more here on the YouTube channel. I probably will follow this video up with some Elite Dangerous content as well. But for now, we are looking at a match within Arena Commander. This is a Spectrum multiplayer match, team versus team adversarial. I am once again piloting my Anvil Aerospace Hornet F7C. This is the only ship I currently own. I did rent a Aegis Gladius recently, but I don't have any footage of that yet. But in regards to the live streaming of this title and Elite Dangerous, very special thanks to my viewers who have been patient enough to assist me in relearning these games. You guys are absolutely fantastic. When it comes to these titles, I tend to have no idea what I'm doing. The learning curve is very steep, and again, as I've said, I'm just not much of a pilot. So for you guys, you know, to take the time out of your night to help me out, it means the world, and I can't thank you enough. But moving right along, I would like to discuss my control setup real quick, because I know I'll get questions about that. Sadly, I'm using a mouse and keyboard for the time being, because in Star Citizen, my El Cheapo Logitech Extreme 3D Pro is acting up on me. What's happening is my gimbaled weapons seem to be getting locked to one side of the screen, or my target reticle at least is locking to one side of the screen, and lasts for about 5 seconds, and then I'm able to pull it back over and properly aim again. I don't know what's going on with that. I've been unable to resolve it. I don't know if it has to do with the gimbals or if it has to do with something else, but I know when I use my mouse, it does not do that. I also use the 3D Pro in Elite Dangerous, and it doesn't have that issue. That game is obviously a lot more stable and polished, so maybe it's just something inherent to Star Citizen. I'm unable to figure it out. If you have a suggestion, feel free to lay it down in the comment section below. Now, I know the Extreme 3D Pro, it's not the top of the line. It's a $30 stick on Amazon. I've owned one of these before. They tend to break down within a year. Well, a year of heavy usage. They're not necessarily the greatest thing on the planet. I wouldn't really recommend one simply because they constantly die out. But it was kind of like a starter stick. Jumping in the flight sims, it was recommended to me originally by Bismarck, who's, by the way, his also broke down, and he's got a new one now anyway. But so yeah, don't get it. But yeah, it was kind of a way for me to see if I would like playing flight sims with a stick. It was mostly in IL-2 Sturmovik, but I have considered getting a HOTAS, something like an X52, X52 Pro. However, part of me feels like I can just aim better with the mouse, at least in Star Citizen, and you know, that leads me to question the intentions of you know, Roberts Space Industries. You know, what kind of game are they trying to create here? I remember originally this was a title that was supposed to be for the most hardcore space simmers. It was supposed to be an extremely complex, high learning curve space flight sim game, and I also remember when they patched the title to allow for simple mouse and keyboard control. Now, there's part of me that says, oh, well, that's great, because it means anybody can jump in and play, and you don't have to buy an additional item in order to control your ship, right? That sounds like a good thing. But then on the flip side, you look at how immersive this title is, you look at the cockpit and the HUD and how everything is designed and all the extra buttons and key configurations that you can possibly have, And you think, well, it makes sense to be a kind of like a flight stick only game, right? To, you know, maybe put everybody on a balanced playing field. But I can't help but feel that I can just aim better, especially with gimbaled weapons, with the mouse. So it's like, do I really even want to use a flight stick? Because that's going to put me at a disadvantage. So what do? I don't know. You know, there's some people out there, some people in my live stream that were saying, well, I don't have that issue, SideStrafe. I can use my HOTAS and take on a mouse and keyboard user, no problem. I do it all the time. I'm better with the stick. You know, admittedly, the flight stick setup is going to provide you with better flight control and ease of access to certain HUD elements or cockpit switches and buttons. There's no denying that, right? But it's all about the aim. The aim seems to be the issue. And some people are talking about how, well, there's no way to reliably aim these gimbaled weapons unless you had some sort of trackball on the stick or something like that, which most don't. The only one that I've seen that does is this new one, actually being made by SciTech in a collaboration with RSI for Star Citizen, that actually has a trackball on the flight stick, which looks to be quite interesting. Now, it could possibly be due to the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing, and that maybe I need to lock my weapons or do something with the gimbals or activate something that makes it easier to aim. But as you can see here, I'm simply using the mouse and putting the little pip on the enemy, the lead indicator, if you will, to hit the target, which works. This method, of course, seems to differ from that which is in Elite Dangerous. In that game, it seems like there's a bit of an auto-aim for your gimbal weapons, so you put the stick kind of in the general direction of the lead indicator in that title, and it just kind of tracks. I don't know if there's a way to do that here, or if we would even want that to be in the game, but, you know, all things considered, with how many years in the future we are, I don't know, maybe it would be fine. I'm not sure. I would love to hear everyone's feedback on this matter, because right now I'm considering moving to a HOTAS setup, but I don't want to do that if spending that amount of money is going to put me at a disadvantage. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Beyond that, if you're wondering why I'm not showcasing the Universe module within Star Citizen right now, it's simply because the stability of the game in Universe mode is almost non-existent, at least during normal hours of operation. I was able to successfully complete a couple of the quests within that mode and fly around for a while during some early morning hours, one time via live stream, but I have yet to be able to repeat that, and so that means not being able to deliver content, unfortunately. The game just keeps crashing on me when I enter Port Al-Azhar, usually within the first 1 to 3 minutes. Sometimes if you can race to your ship and fly out of the, station area, you can maybe get some stability, but it's very difficult. Sometimes if you can get on a different server, but mostly it seems to be related to the time of day. When there's more people on the servers, the game overloads and then crashes. It could be a variety of other things. It could be the fact that I'm on Windows 10, or there's a driver incompatibility. Who knows? But the bottom line is I'm having trouble recording content for that mode, and so that's why you're not seeing anything for it right now on the YouTube channel. When I can reliably record it, I will do that. But beyond that, even when it's not crashing, the frame rates are generally quite poor, again, due to the performance or lack of performance of the current servers. I don't know what causes it. We looked into it. A lot of you provided feedback in regards to it. It has nothing to do with my hardware. It's simply the servers. They're overloaded, and they tend to not want to allow my game to run beyond 30 FPS for the most part. There are some areas of space, like if you quantum drive out of Port Al-Azhar and you go towards like another comm array or somewhere out in the system, maybe the frame rate picks up a bit, but then once you look towards a different direction, it just drops back down to 30, sometimes less than that. Sometimes it turns into a flip book depending on what you're doing. And so, you know, even if I could provide content, it probably wouldn't look very good. So we'll wait and see. I'm willing to put up with the low frame rates in order to provide you with content, as long as the game is stable. And right now, for me, it's not. So I'll keep trying. Maybe I'll try out the PTU server to see if that's any better. But when it does work, it's great. It is such great fun because you can absolutely see the potential of Star Citizen within that universe module. You know, playing the dogfighting is one thing. Doing this here, that shows us where the game's headed in terms of combat potential. But the universe module, I think, is where it's at. You know, to kind of provide that open world experience, to be able to call in your ship, fly out, hit a comm array, defend it from pirates, assist the patrol units there, EVA out of your ship, go into the comm array, repair that, come back out, get back into your ship, then, you know, zoom off to some other part of the system and then do another quest. It's amazing, you know, to know that it's more than just a flight sim, that you can actually get out of your ship, float around in space with your suit, float around your ship, take a look at the scenery, the quiet of space. It's amazing. It's a great experience, and one that I would recommend to everybody. Well, if you can get it to work. But you can totally see the potential of Star Citizen. You can see their vision. You can see Chris Roberts' vision take shape. But it's obviously so very early, and you know, we're left wondering when it will actually be playable and complete. But the taste that it does provide us is one that you know, I can't ignore. And I believe that I'm going to, you know, keep an even closer eye on this title due to what I've experienced within this universe module. But, you know, one experience I had, unfortunately, it did not record properly. My NVIDIA Shadowplay software kind of screwed me over. I was flying towards the space station, and it's one of these stations that you can go in and explore the inside in like 0G. You're floating around. It's pretty cool. But I was going there, and I saw this other ship that was kind of like crash landed on a landing pad, and the ship was messed up. You could see that the wings were damaged, the weapon system. It didn't look flyable. So I saw that and I was like, there could be a player in here. So I took my Hornet, I flew my Hornet to the back of the station, kind of where the shadow is, and so I parked in the darkness, and I went EVA. I pulled out my pistol, that's all I had, and I went to the entrance because I was going to try to explore and go in there and see what's up. All of a sudden, this guy comes out, and he's armed with an assault rifle. I didn't fire because, you know, I try to be a nice guy and hold fire, and you never know what you're dealing with. He immediately opens fire. I return fire with the pistol. I start floating, like I start strafing around in space, right? And he's missing most of his shots. I'm trying to fire at him, but I'm using this little weak kind of like laser pistol, and he's got this assault rifle. And I'm just trying to avoid his shots. So I don't know if my shots are hitting. I kind of strafe off in the cover, and I'm thinking, screw this. I got to get back to the Hornet. I float back to the Hornet. He's blasting me, and you got to hit F. You got to wait for the canopy to open, which takes... It felt like an eternity. You know, canopy's opening, then you wait for this animation for you to get back in. I'm taking shots. It shows on my HUD that I'm, like, you know, taking damage. I'm like, come on, you know, open up. I finally get in the Hornet, and this guy, he saw that he didn't realize, because I had parked the ship in the back, so he didn't know where I was coming from. He didn't know that I had this ship. I get back in, and I lose him because, remember, we're in the vastness of space, and he's this little guy that's like in this black and olive drab uniform suit thing. So it was hard to see him, so I had lost him, and he went back towards like the entry point. But he was shooting at my ship with a small arm. I'm like, bro, this is an Anvil Aerospace Hornet. This thing lasts a long time against another ship. So I don't know what you're thinking you're doing here, but I zoom in and I find him. I see him there, and at the time I was armed with these same, I think they're like 35 millimeter Tarantula autocannons. Okay, 35 millimeter, something like that. I zero in on him. Boom, boom, boom. I light this sucker up. I shredded him. You know, and I was thinking this guy deserved what he got because he shot at me first. You know, I wasn't going to open fire. He tried to blast me. It was the coolest thing ever to be able to just get back to the Hornet and light this son of a gun up with powerful weapons in space. You guys have no idea how upset I am that my footage of that did not record. I was speechless for about 10 minutes. I just sat there with my mouth open like, I can't believe it. I can't believe out of all the things that did not record this. It was that feeling of devastation you get in the pit of your stomach. That feeling that something bad has happened. That's what it felt like. As a YouTuber, you live for those moments. You live to capture those moments and share them with your audience. And the fact that that did not record was just mind-numbing. On top of that, there was actually one of those M50 fighters that came in and tried to attack me after I had taken that guy out. And so there was a dogfight where I had taken that ship out or chased him away. I wasn't sure what happened. He either zipped off because I was in a turn and then all of a sudden he was just gone. But yeah, let's just say that I was not a happy camper that day. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully more of those moments will exist in the future of this title. I think it's just a matter of time, you know. How many years before this thing is complete? I don't know. I know that we have Squadron 42, which is the single-player component coming out this year, supposedly. Looking forward to that. I'll definitely be taking a look at that on the channel and on Twitch, perhaps. But with all of this said, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the description below. If you have yet to make an account for this title, I've got a referral link. In fact, many of you will have referral links when you sign up, but I'm going to share mine in the description. You can click on that and make an account with that. Now, once you spend $45 or more, you will be considered a recruit. And you will then be given 5,000 UEC, that's Universal Earth Credits, I think. That's a $5 value. That's money, in-game money, that you'll be able to spend on things within the game. I would suggest that you at very least make the free account. You can sit on that account. You'll be considered a prospect until you spend $45 or more. You don't have to buy the game right now. You can still use the link. The reason I'm saying that is because I don't want you guys to spend money on something that is not complete, or something that is not worth your money. You know, do I enjoy flying around in Arena Commander? Do I enjoy looking at my ship in the hangar and playing around with the things that I have now? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But everybody's different. And again, I don't want you guys to spend your hard-earned money on something that is incomplete and perhaps has yet to deliver on promises. If you do end up picking up a ship as part of the referral, let me know in the comments below what ship you got. I'd be curious to hear what kind of ship you've got, what you're going to be looking to do in Star Citizen. Are you going to be a trader? Are you going to be some sort of space pirate? Are you going to, you know, group up with friends in some sort of large ship and do exploration? Definitely be curious to hear. And I'd love to, you know, consider doing more things with the community when it comes to this title, because I think there's room for it, especially with the multi-crewing potential. There's some big vessels that this game is looking to incorporate, some really sweet ones. And maybe one day we can have a SideStrafe armada, who knows. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, with all that said, I really hope that you've enjoyed this look at Star Citizen. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I will definitely see you on the next one.